All right, good morning, everyone.
You guys sharing that mic?
I'd like to welcome you to this very special presentation. We are very fortunate to have, for myself, some ex-students, Justin Duran and Quinton Hill. That is, for me, that's Tiger Television royalty. They are some of the best students I've ever had the opportunity to teach, and I'm very fortunate that they felt they would like to come and share their experiences after high school with the students here at Memorial. They have brought their growing team, all multimedia professionals, and they are all going to bestow upon you some of the jewels that they have acquired since graduating college, and maybe give you some tips on, maybe how you should look forward into the future, and maybe give you some perspective about where you are and the possibilities of where you can go down the road. And with that being said, also, we should all thank Mrs. Polynice for organizing this. This was her brainchild. She thinks of things for me to do, and then she makes me do it, and everyone else gets the benefit from it, and I sweat and lose weight because of it. And let me introduce you now to Justin Duran.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Just for a point of reference, we all work in multimedia. None of us want to be awake this early because we don't get into work until about 10 o'clock. So if you're tired, we feel you. I just want to go around the room and keep everyone on high alert, so I might randomly call one of y'all out. So just stay with me. The Snapchat can wait until you leave this spot. My name is Justin. I've worked in multimedia for 5 years now. I graduated 2006. Mr. Polynice was very essential to my growth as a professional. And I had the opportunity of working at Island Def Jam, the record label, Complex Media, if anybody's familiar with Complex, and now I currently work at V-Files. Q, the gentleman in the burgundy sweater, and myself created a media platform called Goodfella Media. And we used to do it in Mr. Polynice's class. We created our website, and while he wasn't paying attention, we were building a website. So feel free to do that when you're in class. I want to introduce from left to right, it's a good friend of mine, Danny Rojas. Danny works, if anything I'm saying sounds foreign to you guys and you don't understand it, it's probably like professional jargon. So raise your hand and be like, Justin, I don't know what that means. Please interpret. But Danny works lifestyle marketing, and he's a college marketing representative as well. So lifestyle marketing is pretty simple. You take the lifestyle that you're in, whether it's you're a skater, you're into rap music, you're a singer, you like sports, any vertical that's in is a lifestyle. So there's a profession for you out there. You don't necessarily have to be a doctor or a nurse or anything like that. There are other professions out there. So Danny works lifestyle marketing at Def Jam. Def Jam houses talent. Is Rihanna still Def Jam? Yeah, Rihanna, Jay-Z, Kanye West, Frank Ocean. Who would you like to promote? 2 Chainz. So yeah, Danny works at Def Jam. Steve Luna, good friend of mine. I worked with him over at Complex, and I'm gonna give all these guys an opportunity to speak. I just want to introduce them. Steve Luna works at Flight Club. Anybody here a footwear fiend or into sneakers? My man in the back? The cool kids all the way in the back, of course. So my man works at Flight Club. His name is Steve Luna. As you see, he brought his sweater, which they also sell at Flight Club. Every opportunity, an opportunity to market product. Steve's a good friend of mine. He does his lifestyle marketing, but what else? And he's director of consignment. So when you buy a pair of rare Air Jordans and you want to sell them, and you go to Flight Club, this gentleman is there to make sure that he prices it and gets your money back. Anybody who sells sneakers, you're an entrepreneur. Don't let your parents tell you otherwise. Good friend of mine, QS, Quinton Hill. We started Goodfella Media together. He works over at Sirius Satellite. He's a producer for the Foxxhole. I don't know if you guys know of Sirius Satellite, but I'm sure you've heard of Jamie Foxx. Yeah? Ray? Annie? What movie comes to mind?
Django.
Django. Got a Django. So Q works at Foxxhole. Good friend of mine, Gia Peppers. Is that your real last name? Gia Peppers. Gia's a journalist. She's worked for a bunch of companies, and she's also an on-air personality for multiple platforms. She currently works for the Washington Wizards. Are you guys familiar with the Washington Wizards? Okay, cool. You a Bradley Beal fan? John Wall. John Wall, okay. So she does halftime shows at Washington Wizards. Have you ever been to a game or you watch a basketball game? The person that's talking on the PA, making sure the crowd is getting live and all that. That's her job. Think about how dope that is. I wish I had her job. And Heather B, is a good friend of mine, Heather. She works at Complex Media. She does production. If any of you guys are familiar with complex.com, they do a lot of cool stuff. But she works like the events and all the cool activations they do in New York City. And yeah, so this is the panel. And I just wanted the point of this panel is, I know this is boring as hell for some of y'all, and you guys are sitting here like, when I'm gonna get out of here. But at some point when you're a junior or a senior, you're gonna have to transition into becoming a student or trying to figure out what the hell you wanna do with your life. If your disciplinarian doesn't already like you, like my disciplinarian didn't like me when I was in high school, you're gonna need other resources in order to get out of the situation that you're in if you wanna be a professional. So this is a good opportunity for you to listen to what it is that we do, ask questions about what we do, and eventually get our contact information so you can have somebody to communicate with for a possible internship or if you got questions in our respective field. So Q got the mic right now. Q, just, I guess, in light, could you tell everyone what it is that you do professionally? And what was that first moment that you realized what you wanted to do?
So I'm Q, Quinton Hill, just standing up for everybody who can't see me. What's up, everybody sitting in the back? Y'all don't really care to see me, but it's okay. I see you. Well, it all really started, and I know it's gonna sound really cliche because, you know, Mr. P's a teacher here, but it really started in Mr. Polonice's class. I took video production my junior year here. And I was like, oh, snap, Memorial let you make TV? Like, I was here, I hated a lot of stuff here. And I was like, I really need to find something that I enjoy to do. Yeah. No problem. Can you hear me better? I could be
So look, feel free to interrupt and yell things like that. That's very important. Let's have a conversation. We don't want to just sit here and give you another hour-and-a-half lecture because we're sure you got enough of those in your day.
Say whatever you want. This is loud enough for everybody? Everybody hears me? All right, cool. So I started at Mr. Polonice's class and taking video production and there you go. Got it. All right, started with in video production class with Mr. Polonice, and then that's it. I knew I wanted to do media right from there. I made my first story in the class. It was about rap. It was about hip-hop when I was in high school. That's all I really cared about, basketball, hip-hop, nerd stuff. That was it. So after doing that, went straight to college and jumped right into college radio because I said, all right, I like music. I don't know how to incorporate this television and music, but I know radio and music always gonna go hand in hand. So jumped right into college radio. And the moment I started it, I said, all right, this is what I want to do. I think I could find a career in this. I think I know what I'm doing. I don't necessarily want to be on the mic. I don't want to be in front of everything. I want to be behind the scenes. I want to produce. But I knew I needed somebody who had talent, and that's when Justin and I, we ended up working at Whole Foods together, of all places.
Shout out to Whole Foods.
And Edgewater.
You could go there at any time if you're hungry and get a free sample for free and eat enough to not pay for anything and walk out.
Pretty much.
Whole Foods is a great place.
But we worked together at Whole Foods. When we were walking in these hallways together, it was, let's be late to class by talking in the hallway about hip hop for a good 20 minutes and then get late to class and then get in trouble for it. That's what we did the whole time we were in high school here. But we took that all the way to Whole Foods, and then I said, listen, I'm at Rutgers, man. You need to come up one day. You need to come do this radio show. You do it once, I promise you, this is what you're gonna want to be here every week. And that's exactly what happened. And from there, it went from radio to video. We built website together. We decided to make our own blog together. We decided to recruit a team. And we decided to use the resources of New York City. That's your biggest resource, by the way. New York City is right over there. You could take a quick bus. I don't know if it's still $3. I know the toll went up. It's
Confirmed, still $3.
Still $3.
You might have to sit somebody who's
It might
absolutely
be $3.50
incoherent.
soon. I know the
but
tolls
$3.
went up, but they're taking you guys. You know, we were in New York City and we were running around like maniacs. We went to shows we weren't invited to. We snuck into shows. We went and ran up on managers. We just looked for everything that was going on and we tried to make it happen on our own. And that's a lot. That's a big important step.
Q, could you tell them the names and the caliber of musicians that we interviewed just with a hand camera and no microphone? Like the superstars that we interviewed.
Well, our first J. Cole interview didn't even have any video. We were just walking around with flash mics interviewing J. Cole. We ran up on Kendrick. We ran up on Big Sean.
Kendrick Lamar, Big Sean,
Yeah,
J. Cole.
You know,
Joe Budden, for anyone who cares about love and hip hop.
So, you know, a lot of, I mean, anybody who likes old school rap, Styles P, Jadakiss, all these guys, kind of dudes that were around, we went to their shows, we went to their spots, we ran up on them. We just went eager. We were afraid, but we just said, hey, can we talk to you? And a lot of times, that's all it takes. We just went up to people and said, can we talk to you? And it kind of just led me into, okay, well, I'm already doing college radio. I got contacts now. Put a resume together, sent it to Sirius XM. I had to wait about 1.5 years after my internship, but right after that, got in there, and I've been working with Jamie Foxx for the last 5 years, and it's been pretty amazing. That's the short story. We'll get deeper into stuff a little later.
So yeah, I think the moral of the story there is, are you guys familiar with the acronym DIY? You guys, all right, I got some yeses, got some nos. You know, what does it mean? Boom, do it yourself. You guys are the DIY generation.
Absolutely.
You guys, we got some Gen Z here, we got some millennials. If you don't know what that means, fine. That's marketing terms for how old you are and what resources you use to get what you want. So you guys are more inclined to use the internet in order to get what you want. We're a bit more analog, but we also are digital.
Yeah, we kind of grew up in between the transfer of analog into digital.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
millennial or not, Gen Z or not, nothing's going to replace hustle. And I was about to curse, but I'm not going to, because Mr. P's somewhere here. You know, at the end of the day, if you have the resources available to you, you have an iPhone, go out there and do whatever you want. It's a DIY generation. Nobody's gonna pay attention to you or acknowledge you until you do it yourself.
Yeah, the biggest thing is you do need school, right? You do need to graduate. You need a college graduate. You need to graduate college. What a college diploma is now, when we were little, a high school diploma pretty much was the same equivalent. So like now you need to go to college, you need to go to school, but that's not enough. That's literally the bare minimum of what's gonna get you to whatever you wanna do. And I want you to know that you could do anything. It doesn't really have to be me. I don't care if you like basket weaving. You could become the best at that. Whatever it is you like to do, you can do it. There's a way to do it. I say if you're good at something, don't do it for free. Find a way to make that your career. You can make that your career. Whatever it is that you like. I don't care how crazy it sounds. Whatever it is, you can find a way to make that your career, and you gotta believe, but you gotta go out and hustle for it. You gotta do your own research. You gotta call people. You gotta bother people. You gotta knock on doors. You gotta do things that are going to scare you. If you're not willing to get scared and do things that are difficult and out of your comfort zone, you're not gonna be able to achieve what you want to achieve. School is the first step, but it's the bare minimum. You gotta take the next steps also.
Yeah, clap it up. Give Q. Preach.
Church. That's a church name.
Church. Heather.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to educate the youngins on what you do,
Yes,
and
yes.
also you went to. I don't even know if we should name the school you went to.
They probably don't know.
No.
I didn't go there,
Oh, okay.
but you can definitely let
So
everyone
she
know
didn't
where
go to
I'm
North
from.
Bergen. That's what I thought.
But
And
I
know-
am from North Bergen.
I know. I went to Memorial, graduated Memorial. My objective was to go to North Bergen parties and take all their lady friends. win every basketball game, win every football game. I see you. But if you're gonna go to a party, you gotta go 10 deep. That's a fact. Heather didn't go to North Bergen, but she's from North Bergen.
I am. But I
That's
just
a
want-
terrible intro. I'm sorry. Everybody was like,
Yeah, he set me up for failure with that one. But after I'm done talking, I hope you guys have a different perception of me, except for the girl from North Bergen who's in Memorial right now speaking to you guys. So my name is Heather Boucher. I'm from North Bergen. I currently work with Complex Media in their marketing department doing promotions, which essentially is video and event production. And it's been a crazy time, but it's been awesome. And I wanted to tag on to what Q was just telling you about, you know, when you're in college, you need that degree. But aside from that, college gives you the opportunity to get internships, work with different people, you know, network. Your network is gonna be your most valuable asset. Next to your degree, your network is how you're gonna get your job. Amen. Church hand. So, when you are in college and looking for these internships, grow your network. That's the best thing you can possibly do. Talk to people. Don't be ashamed. Hey, listen, I'm gonna be looking for a job when I graduate. Can I keep in touch with you? Can I ask you questions when I have, you know, something that comes in my way that I don't know how to deal with? So when I was looking for a job, one of my main regrets was that I didn't network enough. So if that's anything that I can leave you with today, it's go out there, talk to everyone you can possibly talk to, take down people's emails, call them, hey, I just wanted to say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever it is, just to keep it, you know, your name at the top of their list. That's the best thing you could possibly do. So, I'm gonna let somebody else take the mic now, awkwardly.
yeah, give it up for Heather. Again, I do want to say, I mean, it's tough for us to simulate. So everyone here is under 30, by the way. So I tried as hard as possible to make sure we got people with enough work experience that we could give y'all some advice. But at the same time, we're close enough to your age where at least there's a bit of relatability. You may not think what we're saying is cool, but you might like Steve's Jordans, or you might like Danny's leather jacket. We understand that people identify with things other than like experience. You may identify with the way someone carries themselves or how cool their job is. So the objective of this, and in relation to what Heather said, I kind of don't like that you guys all wear uniforms because I can't like see your expression. But either way, no, don't do it. I don't want to be that guy. They're not gonna invite me back. My man got is that the Odell Beckham? I like it. Do you know who Alfred Payton is? I kind of got an Alfred Payton vibe. But all right, so you got to get original haircuts. You got to wear original sneakers. Ladies, you got to make sure your hair is done. Eyebrows on fleazy, right? Your nails got to be done. But the most important
You're not going
thing...
to put pressure on these girls.
No.
Y'all can come to school however you feel.
No, the point... All right, Gia, I'm going to swing it to Gia soon.
It's good stuff, man. I just want to make one note of, like, this is how most of us
Yeah, that's
dress
the point. That's the point I
to
was
go
getting
to work every day. You know, I mean, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
wait. Danny is fresh from his work holiday party. 2 hours of sleep, took the ferry here to come see y'all. That's why he's not saying anything. Give it up for Danny.
Yeah.
Sunglasses and Advil. Last night was mad real.
But what I'm saying is for you to be, we're all professionals here. You know, we're all professionals. We all sit in meetings. We all get taken very seriously. But this is how we dress every day to go to work. You don't have to go suit and tie every day. You don't have to be super corporate in the way that a lot of people have made you think in the past. You could be comfortable and you could be yourself and you could express yourself every day. You just got to know your stuff. If you know your stuff better than the next person, whoever you're speaking to, I don't care if it's a CEO with a suit or if you're talking to one of your peers, they all are going to respect you the same. It's knowing your stuff and express yourself, and don't be afraid to be yourself at any given moment. The moment you stop doing that, people notice, and it becomes a weakness, and they try to use it against you. So always be yourself and understand that you could be dressed just like you do when you get out of school and get a great job and have a career that you're proud of. No, G, can you tell everybody a little bit about what you do and how you got started?
Yes. I know. I feel like weird because, yeah, that's fine. Hi, because I want to see the people in the back. Hey, y'all. Okay, so I'm Gia Peppers. Like Justin said, I'm not from New Jersey at all, but I went to Rutgers University, and that's where I met Justin. We hosted a few shows together. We had a lot of fun back at Rutgers
Yeah, we
University.
hosted fashion shows.
Fashion shows. He had on a full suit and tie, even though he's not dressed like that right now. So, yeah, since I'm from D.C. originally, that's why Washington Wizards, I go home, work, have fun, and then, you know, go to sleep and come back to New York. But I have been doing entertainment journalism for about, I want to say, same 5 years. But before that, in school, I was interning everywhere. I interned in DC with Big Tigger and Free and a lot of people from BET. Then went to the Wendy Williams show, then did Live with Kelly and Michael. And like, I just realized that you can get like anywhere you want to go for free. You just have to put in that work. So when I realized that you could get college credit, y'all loud. When I realized that you could get college credit and learn from the main people that were going to change even your trajectory. Every day I was like, all right, I'm gonna wake up at 7 a.m. and get on this bus to make sure I get to the Wendy Williams show because the live taping starts at 10. So it's important to have an idea of what you wanna do. I didn't know what way I wanted to go in entertainment journalism. I just knew that I wanted to be a journalist, and I didn't wanna do science. My mom was a doctor, and she was like, you gotta do biology, and I was like, I don't like blood. So that's where that stopped for me. But if you like anything, there's a way to learn from someone for free. You just have to be willing. Everyone wants somebody to work with. Like, people need help. I bet you every person here needs somebody to be like, yo, I need your help at this event. Can you put this together? Being at an event with Heather, you'll probably learn way more than taking an events class in college. What I learned in college is it's really great to sit in the classroom and network and have your day-to-day studies. If you want to be a writer, anybody in here want to be a writer or a journalist? 1, 2. The media team, y'all better raise your hand. All these people on the camera. Y'all, right? Production? Yes? Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're really quiet in the back there. So you can go anywhere and literally say, let me help you, let me be of service to you. A lot of you guys are really good at social media just because you have social. If you have a big following, tell somebody, hey, I want to grow your following. I've been tweeting all day, I've been doing all this. It's a really easy way to get in the places that you want to be. People higher up don't really understand the power of social media yet, and they don't understand how to use it in a lot of these companies. So that's always a good way to get in, but whatever you want to do, you can do. Like everyone's been saying here, I from the time that I was like young, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just make it happen. Like, I don't know how, but the same way that Justin and Q got cameras and just started bombarding people in New York, I started to do the same thing in college, and it helped a lot. So I've worked with Essence, Complex, I worked with their Sprite campaign for marketing this summer. I've done a whole lot, NBA, the in-arena co-host, so I've done a lot, and it's been an amazing journey. But the biggest thing I would say, like Q said, be yourself. I'm the most corny person in the world. You probably can't tell right now, but like I enjoy holiday jingles like a little too much. Like I still have my Christmas tree stayed up all year. My parents did it. It's fine. It's a fine thing. But I like to be corny, and it's weird because I love hip hop and I love R&B and I love music where you kind of have to be. If you want to be successful, they expect you to fit into this mold and dress this way and talk this way. But if I go to a party and Jay-Z's there, I'm going to go up to Jay-Z and be like, hey, I really love you. Just so you know. And it's going to be fine. It might be the most corny introduction he's ever had in life, but if I'm going to lie and maybe try to go up to him like Nicki Minaj and spit a bar just so like I think that, you know, he might like that. Like, that's not who I am. So I always want people to understand, I get paid for talking on a mic and being who I am. There's ways to do exactly what you want to do. Just be completely true to who you are.
So, Gia, thank you. Everybody give it up for Gia. So, my sister Jasmine is here, my niece Destiny is here, and they're both in high school. And the reason why I took this challenge on for Mr. P and Miss P was because I'm constantly talking to them, and while I'm talking to them, they be on their phone like, this dude giving me advice again. This dude got suspended 50 times when he was in high school. Why is he giving me advice? And the one thing that I always tell them is like, you don't got to take advice from me, but life is going to teach you lessons whether you like it or not. I'm sure all you guys got a friend that's probably going through some type of depression. All you guys got friends that are in a relationship and it's not working out. All you guys got homies that are pursuing something. You guys have a network you got to build from your network. At the end of the day, your mom or your dad or whatever sibling you're living with is not going to house you forever, as sad as that may sound. I come home to this day and my mom still makes me food, but she lets me see the exit at 8 o'clock. Like, you gotta go home, you gotta do your own thing. And I know that doesn't mean anything to you right now, and that shouldn't be the end all be all. Money shouldn't be the end all be all. But the point I'm getting to is when you're sitting in a classroom or you're listening to us right now, again, I know it's dumb early, but just think, like, you know what? That kind of caught my interest. I like what he said, or I like what she said. Or Def Jam, I didn't know they worked with Rihanna and Kanye. Like, that's interesting. I like music. I can't sing, I can't dance, but I like music. None of us are really talented at anything artistic, but we all work in the entertainment industry.
Except for me.
Oh, yes.
Justin needs to speak for himself.
All right.
I did musical theater my entire college career.
All right, everybody here is talented. Everybody here got a record deal. But the point I'm making is that there's gonna be a moment if you assert yourself, whether you're on a rabbit hole on Google or you're in a classroom, something's gonna hit you and you're gonna be like, damn, I like that. I'm entertained by that. That piqued my interest. Whatever it is, you gotta pursue that. Because at the end of that is a paycheck. Not that that's the end all be all, but there are people being paid for whatever it is that you're being entertained by. Whether it's somebody on a YouTube channel, somebody that got the dopest Vine account, Instagram account, clap it up. You got a Vine account? Yeah, do it for the Vine, do it for the Vine. But the point I'm making is, anything that piques your interest, pursue it. You have insurance, you live with your family, you got a job at Pizza Hut or Taco Bell, like, live off of that, finesse that until you have to get another opportunity. But don't wait too long until your parent is pushing you out and you gotta do sheetrock with your uncle. And then you have no more options. So what everybody on this panel did is they took a massive risk, but they took it when they were younger. And they asked questions, and they inquired, and they sent emails. Emails are like text messages. They're very simple to use. Don't be intimidated by them. Professionals were once young. Don't be intimidated by them. Reach out. Everybody needs help. And I tell you from experience, everyone loves an intern because they work for free.
Exactly.
I was about to say something not politically correct. Go ahead.
Your potential network is right here. You know, my network started with Justin. That was where it all started. It was us here together. We started here, and then we found other like-minded people that went to school here, and that's how we started building up things from ourselves. So the people that are here, that are your friends, that are sitting next to you, you guys all have interests. You guys all share interests. You guys can start building something special right now. Not later, not in a few years, not when you graduate. Right now, you can make something special happen. Right now, you have a crazy idea, and guess what? You could do it. It could work. You can meet some of your heroes. I met my heroes randomly by just running up on them, and I never thought I would sit down and speak. Like, Method Man was my favorite rapper growing up. That's my favorite rapper of all time. I met Method. He shook my hand face to face. You know, I never thought I would ever sit down and interview Redman. I never thought I would ever meet any of my heroes and sit down and speak to them, and then after speaking to them, have them say the words, "Wow, you really respect this culture. I appreciate you speaking to me." I'm like, what? You appreciate speaking to me? No, I appreciate speaking to you. Don't ever say that again. You are the best. But you never think these things could happen while you're just sitting around thinking about things. Don't sit around and think about it anymore. You have all the tools right in front of you. I mean, the computers that you guys have upstairs. We didn't have computers like that when we were here. You guys could do some really, really, really amazing things, but you gotta believe in yourself and you gotta go do it. And I'm telling you, start building your network here. Build your network amongst your friends, amongst your peers. You know what I mean? Justin and I were in two different social categories, okay? Yeah. I've always been a nerd and a geek. He's always been cool. Somehow we came together and we made something. It doesn't matter. Don't judge each other. Respect each other. Look at each other because you never know who's gonna help you in the future. You guys are each other's network. You guys are the future bosses, but you gotta believe it here first, right now, and get started when you go home, today. Don't even start tomorrow, start today. You guys can do whatever you want.
You heard? You heard? One example, before I forget, one really good example of this is my homie Steve, who works at Flight Club, which I am a huge fan. Steve is like 5 years younger than me, and the reason why I invited him here is because I've never met a human being that was so obsessive about a subculture. Subculture meaning like if you like Star Wars, if you're into footwear, you got a crazy fetish for Etsy jewelry, like whatever it may be, that's a subculture. People are buying products there, you can sell to them. My homie Steve is a footwear connoisseur. Like, he talks about sneakers like paintings at the MoMA, or like wine, like but the sole. This sole right here, this leather is premium, it's exotic, it's ostrich, you gotta get it. Steve interned with me, he interned for me at Complex. I don't like to say it like that, but it kind of is the truth. Right? No, but he's
Facts.
right. But he used to always tell me like, "Yo, I want to get in the sneaker game. Like, there's got to be room for me." And my advice used to be like, "Look at all these corny dudes that we work with. You're cooler, you know more, and you work harder than them. Why is there not an opportunity for you?" And he used to be like, "All right, so what do I do? Like, let's just grind. Go out there and try to figure it out." Long story short, if you don't know what Flight Club is, it's the #1 consignment shop for footwear on the planet. This dude would buy and sell sneakers at like a stockbroker rate and make thousands of dollars on the side, still does. Now he works for them after 2 years of just grinding and trying to figure it out. He got promoted 3 times in the last 2 years. That's why and that's my little brother. Like, Steve is like family, and if I lock in with any of y'all in here, if y'all want to come up to me and talk to me, like my nieces and my sister, like, I'm gonna talk to y'all like you're adults, because eventually you're gonna be of adult age, and we're gonna be able to chop it up. And Steve now is working at Flight Club, and he's doing his thing, and I want him to give you a little bit of perspective of what he did to get there, because I think that's important.
So I'm Steven. Thanks for the great intro. That was like amazing. I appreciate
No problem.
I appreciate kind of like the backstory, just because I remember when I was like in you guys' shoes, like all this morning coming to here. I'm from the Bronx. I'm from New York. I just thought about like, wow, like high school. That was like 5 years ago since I graduated. 8 years ago since I started. And I look at you guys and I'm like identifying with all of you, just because like I'm 24 years young. I'm not that old at all. And I still, feel like a kid at heart, and I still kind of like, indulge in the same things that you guys indulge in. Like, use social media. I'm on Snapchat. I follow Daquan on Instagram for anyone, who follows like that IG handle. It's hilarious. And
You're getting money though.
Right.
Biggest difference.
Say what?
Biggest difference between you and them.
So yeah.
It's your job.
Right. And I guess like the common theme that's been talked about like here in this panel the entire day is kind of like, options and passion. I feel like for me it was like simple and kind of like, I always knew that I was into the subculture, which is sneakers, and just like I just collected, I obsessed over just buying them and just looking at them, just like, just seeing them. And I said, I want to do something in this industry. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know anyone who works there. I'm in college going to school for marketing, surrounded by like, like super scholarly, like, Ivy League rejects. And I mean that in not an offensive way, just to like give you perspective in terms of like how smart these people were that I was around. And, I looked around and I didn't really like identify with anybody, just because like, everyone was kind of like in a suit and tie every day, and, they wanted to be businessmen and they wanted to be accountants and they wanted to do finance and do investment banking and be doctors and lawyers and all that stuff. And that was cool. And I feel like, if I had a passion for that, I can go out and be that as well. But it just didn't sit well with me, just because like it didn't really like, like make my heart beat. It didn't really like make me want to wake up every day and be passionate about it. So I got an internship at Complex with Justin and Heather B as well. Like, they were both my bosses like 3-4 years ago, which is crazy to even think about. Like, when you put time in perspective, like, you guys are in high school now, you guys are juniors and seniors, but pretty soon you're gonna be out in the real world, and time's gonna just start flying after that, zooming. 4 years ago, I had an opportunity to like intern at Complex, like with these guys, and I met a lot of people. In terms of like network, it's just like so key to like really look horizontally and then vertically. Look at you guys as like your friends, your peers, and really like see what it is that you guys are doing, how you guys can like maybe come together, parlay that into like a business, sort of like how Justin and Q did. and then look vertically in people who you guys admire, people who you guys look up to. That may be celebrities, that may be, like musicians, that may be skaters for whoever skates here. However, look up to them and maybe like really dig deep into like how they got to be where they are. And realize that everything's attainable. And it's all about like having a passion for something and really giving yourself options and the room to like make mistakes. Because that's also part of the journey as well. It's not all like, I guess like all about success, like that's the ultimate goal. But to get to that point, you're gonna like stumble and come across a few thorns that you're gonna have to like, jump over those hurdles and ultimately like find your success. And it's different for everybody. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you, like, my network, my group of friends, like, they all kind of like, I'm the only sneaker nerd. I'm the only sneakerhead. Everyone else is like into like, a whole bunch of different things. But when we come together and we lock in, we have one common thread, and that's like passion, drive, and the motivation to go out and succeed. Just because, to give you guys some more color about me, like, I'm not from New Jersey. I'm actually from New York. I grew up in the South Bronx. For those who've never been or who've never heard, the South Bronx is like on the come up now, but it's like not a place that has like the most like extensive resources. So my resources were extremely limited coming up, but I had a great like supporting cast and just people around me who always motivated me and made sure that I was like positive. Like my attitude was like it's never changed from being a kid. And I feel like that's also like another key to success and just having the right mindset, wanting to do something, knowing maybe like having the slightest idea of what it is that you want to do, and then just putting your head down and grinding and going out and actually like achieving that and attaining that goal.
Steve, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
A personal question. I've never asked you this, but it's just me and you right now. How much money you think you made off of flipping footwear?
Oh, that's a very personal question.
Really?
Yeah.
But there's nobody that does taxes here. You're good. Well, give a rough estimate. Because this dude was doing this in high school. He was getting money in high school off of footwear, something he loved. That you could be doing that already. Like, there's no limit to when you could start providing for yourself.
So for those of you who don't know, like again, like Justin said, like I work at Flight Club. Flight Club is like the premier destination for those who want to buy like super rare and cool kicks, and also who want to sell. We're basically like, like a marketplace. We are a marketplace. We're a platform where you just go and like unload your product and flip shoes. Ever since like a kid, I knew that, like sneakers were just very popular. Everyone's into it. The culture's like grown to the point where it's mainstream now. Everyone's literally like a sneakerhead, which is great. And sneakers sometimes like, they retail for like $100, let's say, and sometimes they flip for 5 times as much, 10 times as much. It's not far-fetched for like, an average sneaker to come out and just like be going for $1,000, and surprisingly people pay that. Like it's kind of like nuts to like put that into to think about that people pay that much money for sneakers, but it is in fact like I guess like a viable like business. And yeah, I mean
You don't have to answer the question. It's
hundreds
cool.
of shoes, hundreds of
Good
shoes.
answer. Now, Steve brought up a good point about pursuing what you truly, truly believe in, and I think this is a great segue to my homie Danny, who first of all, coolest dude I know.
So, not at all.
That leather jacket is like, there's only 10 of them. And Rihanna wore it one time at the VIP when she was cold. This is a fact. But Danny, I knew Danny in college. He was studying investment banking. My girlfriend does investment banking. For those of you who don't know, those are people who are spreadsheet masters. They know everything about the ebbs and flows of the economy, and they capitalize off of that. That's what you need algebra and anything above for math. Besides that, it's not really important. So facts. So Danny was doing finance in college, and I met him, and he was such like a cool dude that I would always be like, yo, why are you doing this? Like, you should be in the entertainment industry. He always did stuff in the entertainment industry. So he graduated with a finance degree, worked 2 years or 1 year? 1 year. Worked 1 year in banking, absolutely hated himself, hit me and was like, yo, I gotta get out of here. And he was doing an internship at Bad Boy after he graduated, transitioned into the music industry. Now he is where he's at. Sure, he's making a fraction of what he was making before salary-wise.
I got it back.
But he got it back. So give it up for Danny real quick.
I just want to throw it out there. Got it back.
So, just like Justin and Heather and Q, I also grew up in the area, and I'm gonna throw it out there. You guys are all gonna hate me right now. I went to North Bergen High School, so I went across the street. And my infatuation with culture, this is the way I see it. I don't see it as entertainment. I don't see it as music. I don't see it as anything of that sort. I don't see it as a business at all either. I am infatuated with culture, and I like to help drive culture. It all started when I was about, I want to say, 15 years old. I used to work at Cap City on Bergen Line. Anybody familiar? It's probably no longer the greatest thing out here, but when
My man raised his hand like, yeah.
But when we were,
Yeah.
but when we were in high school, decades ago, possibly at this point,
Steve used to come from the Bronx just to go to Cap City.
he used to come from the Bronx just to go to Cap City, and this was like rappers used to come all the time. Like Fabulous was a frequent person in there, and I can't name a whole bunch of them, but I forgot half the people. But there's a lot of rappers that came by, and I was really infatuated with the culture and what was happening. At that point, I was more on like the fashion side. But there was this thing that ever since I grew up, I always was attached to making money, and that was like my vision. Like, I need to get out of college, and I need to make a lot of money as quickly as possible. So when you're within college, the quickest way to come out and make the most money is becoming a finance major and jumping into investment banking, because you don't have to go to school for 8 years like a doctor does. You don't have to go to school for 7 years like a lawyer does or whatever it is that they do. You go for 4 years, you come out, and you work finance, and you'll make the most money out of all your peers. But on the other end of that, if you don't like it and if you're not invested into this and like working spreadsheets and all that stuff, you're going to hate yourself because it's not a passion of yours and you're not going to be doing what you love. And that's another thing that I believe in. It's about doing something that makes you happy. So met Justin, not really met Justin. We've been knowing about each other. We've been known of each other.
North
probably-
Bergen rivalry.
Yeah,
We graduated the same year.
for years. We knew about each other for years, but we ended up at the same school, Rutgers, New Brunswick. Started hanging out, and I saw what he was doing, and it kind of inspired me. I'm like, yo, he's moving, and he's shaking within this realm, and I was like, I can do that. Like, if he can do that, I can do that. Like, the same way that you guys should see it right now. Any of us that are up here, right here, we were in your shoes at a certain point. We were in school. Some of us probably weren't great at high school. I wasn't good at high school, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was probably at the bottom tier of my class. But at the end of the day, you can do this. It doesn't matter where you're at right now. If you strive and you progress moving forward, you can make anything happen. Like, that's a fact, and I know that's a common thread and a common theme amongst us, but it's a fact. There's simple facts. So I met Justin, and he had me thinking about this whole entertainment space. And honestly speaking, when I was going between my last year in school, my last year in college, I still was in investment banking. I didn't make a decision to jump ship until my last year in college. And which is like the worst time to make it because I essentially was a finance major the whole entire time, had no internships within entertainment, and it just, all the odds were against me at this point. And then in addition to that, I already had a full-time job out of school my first week. I remember we were walking in front of the Apple store in Manhattan that day.
Yeah.
And I received the call, and they said, yo, you got a full-time offer. So I was basically set in finance, not where I wanted to be. Found an internship at Bad Boy, and I did Ciroc marketing intern.
Bad Boy Records. Do any of you guys know this old man? His name is Puff Daddy. Yeah. Take that.
So I worked for his brand.
This guy's
Ciroc.
informed right here.
Yeah.
I like it.
I hope you don't drink Ciroc, though. You're too young for all that. So throw it out there. It's vodka. It's not good. So I did. So I interned within the marketing team for Ciroc.
He's talking about last night.
So I interned doing Ciroc marketing, and I somehow finessed my way to work for Puff's manager. So I was interning directly for Diddy's manager. His name is James Cruz, an enlightened individual, and taught me a lot of stuff, and I've learned lots from him. But at that point in time, things don't always work out, and I had to go back to finance. Did finance for a year, and then somehow found my way back into the music industry, and I'm at where I'm at now. Started at Def Jam, moved up in the past 2 years, and I get to do the coolest shit in the world. Like, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm gonna just give you an example. Last Saturday, are you guys familiar with J. Cole in Dreamville? Everybody familiar with J. Cole, correct? So on Saturday, we had this thing where J. Cole performed for free in 3 different places in New York. It was all bars and stuff like that. The first place was like this small, like very, very like small bar, probably only had like 50 people in it, and it gradually got bigger. But it's like I get to help put these activations on and bring these artists down. That's where the lifestyle portion comes in, and bring them out everywhere and get random kids that are on the streets to meet these guys when they wouldn't. Because it's like, it's either you pay a $200 concert ticket and you meet them or you see them, or you could go to one of these secret shows that happen sometimes and pull up and see them for free. So it's like, I get to do stuff like that. And I want to note that anybody here can be able to do stuff like that. There's no difference between you and I. I'm the same guy that went to North Bergen, worked at Cap City, messed up in high school, ended up at Rutgers, did pretty well, and just got my things together and was able to go there. But there's certain pieces that you need to attain to get there and do that. Like I also do college marketing, and I have to look at a lot of college students' resumes and stuff like that because they want to come on board with the team. So one thing that I want to throw out there, because everybody's talking about attaining and network, another important piece that you're kind of learning right now is getting yourself prepared in terms of professional development and things like that. Like you guys are all, I'm sure, for the most part, taking SAT classes or taking SAT classes, right, at a certain point? Anybody taking SAT classes?
Give it up for the SATs, y'all.
All right.
SATs.
So you guys,
Quiet for that.
that's not good at all. So
Everybody
you guys
woke up like, oh, well, we got a
God,
test.
like I don't
What's
want to
going
do this. So you guys are taking these classes to prepare yourself for that, right? So one thing that I want you guys to note when you're trying to get these internships and you're trying to do all this stuff when you hit college, because it's going to be very important, I want you guys to go to the career development place on the college campus and get yourself privy to the knowledge of how to create a cover letter or how to create a resume and things and how to fill out a job application, because that's going to be important. It's just as important as all the contacts that you gain and just applying or knowing about the internship and knowing what you want to do. It's just as important because that's going to be a barrier to entry, per se. So that's the last note that I want to leave you on because I think that's important.
Danny, hold on. No, don't give the mic up yet. Any of you guys know DJ Khaled? Okay, Danny, you're smart. You're smart. I see you. You got potential. Danny's the flyest dude in the world, right? Because he says the most braggadocious celebrity stories whenever we get up with him. He's like, yeah, you know, I was chilling with Khaled the other day, and he's really like that in real life. And I'm like, dude, Khaled's a joke. Like, he can't really be like that all the time. So the reason why I say that is because these are things that you guys are watching. You see how you react to pop culture? You know, like, I was there. Trust me, I obsessed over entertainment culture. And it's like, dude, I'm watching DJ Khaled while I'm supposed to be studying, but this thing is entertaining, right? Like, there's somebody getting paid for that. I just want you to think about that. And shout out to my brother who's here. It's my big homie. He told me, my big homie, he does culinary arts. And he's everything in terms of guiding me. Everybody should go and find a big homie. We call them big homies. They're called mentors or rabbis, depending on what walk of life you're in. But somebody who's been through what you've been through and can simulate life experience. But the reason why I say all that is because there's nothing wrong with the other professions that I mentioned. There's absolutely no, they're actually more traditional and they pay a lot better and the money's consistent. But what we're here to say, everybody here agreed, like, but the point we're all trying to make is there are other options out there. You could be in a field where you have always liked since you were younger, and that doesn't have to change as an adult. You could get paid. Like, you ever watch the NBA player play basketball, and you're like, damn, I want to play basketball for a living. I want to get paid millions. It's like that in every field. You're not going to get paid millions, but you could do something that you loved as a kid professionally. So yeah, Danny knows DJ Khaled. That's the end of my rant. And Rick Ross.
And he's really like that. DJ Khaled.
Is he really?
No, this is like, I don't know if he knows the keys to success. I'm actually, he probably does, but I never witnessed that from him. Quick story.
Yeah.
So the other day, we're in the Def Jam office. Khaled is always there because he deals with a whole bunch of projects with us and all that stuff.
Khaled actually produces music for those that he's not just a Vine sensation or a Snapchat sensation.
So he's sitting on the phone, and then within the music industry, you have to sell people to get your record on radio to play it like on radio, play like on Hot 97 or Power 105. Like, you basically got to sell the other person to get so like invested into the record, so they throw it into rotation is what they call it, and they play it on the air so you guys can hear it when you're like in your mom's car or in your crib and stuff like that. So Khaled is on the phone with somebody from one of the radio stations trying to sell them a record, and I'm sitting right next to him, and he's on the phone. And he's talking to the guy, and he literally goes to this like deep whisper, right? He's like, when I told you last time that I had another one, was that another one? I hear the guy back on the phone, and the guy goes back, and he's like, yeah, I heard that the last time you said it. I get it. And then he's like, so guess what I got this time? He's like, what do you got, Khaled? He's like, I got another one. And that's it. That was the conversation.
There you go.
Dropped the phone, ended the call, said it'll be in your email. That's it. Got it.
Life lessons from Danny and DJ Khaled. Give it up.
It's crazy.
Another one. So I'm gonna swing it to Q real quick, because Q is like typical you, Justin. You want to talk about all the cool stuff that's happening. I love you. You gotta go too. So he's like, yo, tell them about hardship. This is not peaches and creams. You're gonna go through some pitfalls.
Well, you've kind of played host most of the time. I think people would want to hear some of yours. Like, just, you know, this isn't an easy journey. I mean, we've sat here and said all the most inspirational things in the world, and some of them sound like cliches, but we all really believe them because we live them. But this isn't easy also. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna fail, you're gonna fall flat on your face, you're gonna have to pick yourself up after falling back on your face. It's not gonna be easy. Whatever you want or whatever you're passionate about, if it was easy, you really aren't that passionate about it, because that means you're only settling for a certain level. If you're really passionate about something, you wanna be great at it. And if you wanna be great at something, you're gonna hit bumps in the road. And we've all hit bumps in the road. I mean, Danny already explained some of his bumps on the road. So I think it's important that you guys just know that we all hit a lot of different bumps in the road, and we all had moments where it was like, I don't know if I want to do this. And you still had this, and you had to fight that urge to quit and keep pushing. So I think it's important that you...
I mean, I'd compare that to if you're trying to like hook up with a guy or girl and there's like obstacles in the way, but you know you want to be with that person because they're your partner, your soulmate. You're going to go through whatever it takes in order to get that person's attention. You could literally transfer that same vibe and apply it to a career, because it's the same damn thing. And then after you get it, it's never as great as you thought it would be, but you're gonna stick with it anyway.
That was a great analogy. But I'm actually about to head out of here, because one of the cool things about my job is I get to produce an event at All-Star Weekend this year in Toronto. So I've got a meeting to catch, but before I leave you guys, I just wanted to again tag on to what Q was saying and kind of let you know that all of us up here, we've been through it, been through the ringer. There's times when I've talked to Justin like, I might just walk out of here right now. And, you know, the number one thing is perseverance. Everyone in here, if you're a hustler, you have that in you. You don't have to be taught that. What you do need to do is be smart, like we said, network, do all those things, but things might not pan out the way you thought they were going to. I graduated college. I worked in Jersey City at a cozy restaurant as a manager. After that, I worked at another company doing something that I really didn't like to do. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pursue my dreams, literally. So I quit. I went home. I thought it would be easy to get a job. 25 years old, couldn't get a job for 2 years. And that's where my network came in. I just started, put my pride to the side. I was like, hey, I'm gonna hit up every single person that I've met over the last 5 years and say, I'm looking for a job, can you help me? And eventually, I had someone who I worked with previously who was like, hey, I passed along your resume and they're gonna call you for an interview. And I took a job that was a demotion, a pay cut, but I knew where I wanted to be at the end of the day. So, before I leave, just wanna let you know, there might be times when you're like, wow, this is really not working out for me. But if you persevere and you keep your hustle going, you know, the sky is the limit, as the Notorious B.I.G. would say.
There you have it.
And that's my sign off. So, thank you very much. I gotta go. Best of luck to everybody. I'm gonna give it back to you.
Hey, Heather! Heather, you gotta leave that way. P, she gotta leave that way.
It's right.
Heather, you gotta leave that way.
After I leave that door, I don't know where I'm going.
There's a young lady that will be waiting for you on the other side. One more time for my homegirl, Heather. All right, anybody else want to say anything? Because I want to open up for questions. Yeah?
So to go off of what Heather was talking about, I think that, I want to say maybe like 2 months ago, I might have been in the worst headspace in my life that I've ever had since I graduated from Rutgers University. And basically what happened was, I think since the time I've graduated, I've always had a job. Like, I'm a hustler. I always have like 3-4 gigs. Like, that's who I am. Like, currently, I work with Ebro at Hot 97. You guys like Ebro? Ebro in the morning? Shout out to Ebro. Thank you for that one. He's my boss, so I love him. You're right, because I'm used to talking right to the mic. Yeah, I do that. I also work with the NBA, so I'm always moving, always hustling. But the biggest thing was for me, I always had a full-time gig where I was like, all right, I'm getting this check, I'm here from 9 to 5, then I'll leave, do another thing, and do this. There's always like multiple ways to get multiple gigs and positions. And so my main position, the last full-time gig I had was with Essence magazine. I'm not sure if you guys read that, but it's a really, historic, legendary magazine for African-American women, women of color, and things like that. And they had the Essence Festival, so I was the associate editor of Essence Fest, working with all these great artists. We had Kendrick last year, we had Erykah Badu, we had Kevin Hart come do a show, so I got to work with all these amazing people who were actually like, the people that I want to work with because the way that they move around in their careers. And so Essence, what you'll notice in the industry right now, especially in entertainment, is that a lot of people don't have the money to keep a full-time staff. Meaning, you're a full-time employee when you get salary, benefits, full, everything. There's no overtime, there's no any of that. And so what they'll do is they'll hire you full-time freelance, which means you're on for a certain set amount of months, you're working on one project, and then they're like, adios. And so a lot of people make promises in the industry. That's another thing that you'll learn. They don't necessarily follow up, and they might have the best intentions, but the thing is, they don't always follow up. They might not have the time or the budget. So I was there till August, and then they were like, sorry, the budget ran out, we can't do it. And I was like, cool, I'll find something else. And like Heather was saying, it's really difficult to find, it's not always as easy as it seems to find a job. So for the first time ever, I've worked at CBS, ABC, NBC, I've worked literally everywhere. And for the first time ever, I had to just be like, I don't got nowhere to go. It's 9 a.m. and I have nowhere to be. And it's like, it'll kill you. When you are a person that's used to being somewhere, since school, I have not had, since school, I've had a place to be at 9 a.m. And so for the first time ever, I was like, wow, what am I really doing here? And it made me question everything that I've done. I mean, I've worked with a lot of people the same way that everybody here has amazing stories. I met Beyonce one time, it was the best 8 seconds of my life. And, it just, yeah, we were backstage at the Power 105 thing, and yeah, whatever. I work for Hot 97, so I wasn't backstage at Power 105. But the big thing is, I just want to tell people that I had to get out of my own way and out of my own pity. The first time that you tell yourself that you can't do something, that's exactly what will happen. Every single time you tell yourself, I'm not good enough for this position, that's what's gonna happen. And what I had to tell myself was that I'm good enough to be in these rooms. I would literally be on a stage with frickin', I don't know, John Wall standing behind me shooting a 3, and I still wouldn't realize how amazing it was, my jobs and things like that, just because of one thing. Whatever you're working on, whatever your hustle is, if you don't believe in yourself and what you can bring to the table, no one is gonna believe in you. You can't make people believe in you when you don't even believe in yourself. So always remember, whatever gift or passion you have is not by accident. I believe in God. I know it's high school, public high school, we're gonna talk about that. But whatever you do, it's a gift and something that was given to you on purpose. So your purpose is whatever you want to give to the world, and no one can do it like you can. So remember, if you wanna be the best rapper in the world, you better start a SoundCloud and start making that stuff and working your way. New York City's right there. If you wanna be a journalist, there's free blogs everywhere. Everyone is a blogger. You can do it. Use hashtags, get on the internet and use YouTube, and do not give up on yourself. Even if you do give up on yourself, give your time to be sad and then get back into it, because you can't give up.
That was awesome. So I have one last thing to piggyback off that, and then we're gonna open it up to you guys, and you guys could ask us whatever you like, whatever question you guys wanna ask us. Speaking of when you're feeling terrible, and Justin knows this, when we were in our 3rd year of doing Good Film Media, I had a family member pass away. My great-grandmother passed away. It was one of my first family members dying in my life. And she was the only person on my father's side of the family that I was close to. So that was terrible. And then at the same time, I broke up with my high school girlfriend, and we were dating from my sophomore year of high school till I graduated. So depression, right away depression. This beard started with that depression, as a matter of fact. I've trimmed it a few times, but growing a beard literally started from my depression. And we were in the middle of probably the most important times of our building our careers. And I mean, I was crying every day for no reason. I gained a bunch of weight. I didn't want to get up. And I had to force myself. I had to fight every day. I'm fighting this depression every day because in the back of my mind, it still was like, but you have this dream. You know, you have this thing that you want to do. Like, you know it's in you. And I'm telling you, every day I wanted to quit. And you know, having a good support system obviously is important. Justin had to step up a million times and be like, yo, Q, come on, like, we got to do this today. Get up, we got to do this today. But, you know, you're going to have those moments. Things are going to happen in your life that you feel like you'll never recover from them. You know what I mean? And I mean, I look back at it now and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so petty. How did I let somebody have that much power over me that I got so depressed? But these things will happen to you when you're young, when you're looking at love the first time, or when you're losing somebody you love. You kind of feel like your whole world's shaking and you can never recover from it. You can. It's not easy, but if you just still keep pushing, do something, do one thing every day. Just do one thing. You know what I mean? She said, if you're a rapper, right? You're depressed, you don't feel like writing. Just write an idea down. If you can't write the whole song, write an idea down. If you can't write the whole blog post, start the blog post and save it. You know what I mean? If you're, you know, whatever it is. If you're trying to be a bodybuilder, well, man, you can't do the whole 1 hour workout. Do 15 minutes, but just do something. Do a little bit and just keep going, because eventually that idea will turn into a bar, to 2 bars, to 3 bars, to 4 bars. Now you got a 16-bar verse, and little by little. Time is moving quick for you at this age, and you think you don't have enough time. You have plenty of time. Don't worry about it. Just make sure you're doing something small every day, and it's gonna grow into something big. You gotta build the habits, and you gotta fight that urge to quit. It's an urge that's gonna come to you, but that's the thing that makes you stronger. I just moved to Washington, D.C. 2 years ago. I was about to quit my job at Sirius XM. I worked there for 3 years. I was with a terrible boss. I just had the worst boss ever. My boss basically told me to leave a broadcast one day. I left the broadcast, called my other boss, because I have like 3 bosses, called my other boss and said, hey, Quinton walked out of the studio. You should fire him. He told me to leave. So then I had to come back and be like, excuse me, you told me to leave, first of all. I'll come back. I came back, finished the broadcast, had a meeting, had a huge argument. I was like, okay, if this doesn't get changed in the next 2 months, I'm quitting. 2 months came, nothing had changed. All of a sudden, I get a phone call. Jamie Foxx is coming in, he's interviewing Quentin Tarantino. I need you to come downstairs, you're gonna have to help produce it. I said, what? Quentin Tarantino, by the way, is my favorite director of all time. So, the day that I'm thinking, I'm quitting today, one of my heroes is coming, and I have to produce this radio show, and I'm angry. I run downstairs, I produce the show, we're looking for music, he doesn't have the music, I find the music, we play it, we get the whole broadcast done. All of a sudden at the end of the whole thing, hey, I need you to move to Washington, D.C., we have a new position for you, we're gonna promote you. The day I was gonna quit. So you never know, you gotta keep pushing. I'm telling you, that moment where you wanna quit, that special thing can happen for you. That's why you gotta keep pushing.
Are we good? Are we good? No, I want to ask questions, but I want to make sure we're good on time. And whoever wants our contact information, Mr. P will be able to provide you with all of that.
I have some cards.
And yeah, hold up.
Because of scheduling conflicts and things of that nature, even if you didn't officially get your permission slip signed for this period, Mr. Warab's in the room. He says it's okay. All right?
No class for another 30 minutes. That's what's up. You're smart. I want everybody to ask questions, but I just want to randomly point people out. And can you tell me your first, last name, what year you're in? Everybody's like, oh, damn. I hope you don't. I just want y'all to be on high alert. And I want to know what you're into, whatever you're into, or, you know, it don't have to be a career.
Let's let them volunteer for it. Whoever wants to speak first, after that, we're going to start pointing people out. If you have anything you want to ask and want to say, raise your hand right now. Anybody.
Any questions?
One
So that's why you
person.
gotta do it like
I
that.
see a whole bunch of y'all making eye contact. So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Should we bring her a mic? Give her the mic.
So, in the beginning, you said you work at V-Files, right?
Yeah, V-Files.
Yeah, I have an account with V-Files, and I've been trying, like, I love photography, videography.
Are you going to make a complaint right now?
No, no
Oh, okay.
complaint. No,
Oh, you're going to have to call 1-800.
No, I'm really interested in V-Files, and I would like to, like,
Into fashion?
Yeah, like, photography. Like, I want to photograph it, and video, like, I love all of it. I have an account and everything. You can check me out.
No, that's cool. That's cool. That's where it starts. So give it up. Give it up for the bravest person in the room.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Right?
I didn't want to talk.
It starts with an idea, right? Like, again, I know I made that corny analogy before, but I know all you guys have experienced some sort of like emotion towards another person. It starts like that with a career. Like, you got to have an idea like, damn, I really like doing this. When I daydream in that bio lab, I'm daydreaming about something else. It starts with that, right?
Facts.
Rare facts. Danny, you good? So yeah, I mean, whatever you need regarding V-Files, I can help you out with that. But photography there are multiple outlets out there, right? Instagram, V-Files.
Yeah.
Steve is also a photographer as well. I'm sure there are platforms where you could get on. Yeah, there's photography. It's a freelance job. Where's Hide at? This is a good friend of mine. I also do goodfellamedia.com. That's my media platform with Q. This dude just randomly emailed us. Like, yo, I do photography. I like your website. Can I help? We hit him back. He just went to a Mac Miller show the other day. He went to a Young Jeezy show the other day. Who else? Justine Skye. Like, this kid, I don't know him from a can of paint, but I do know that he cares and his photography is ill. Like,
Yeah.
that's all that matters. And he cared enough to send that email and be like, look, I'm interested. You know, how can I help? So,
You want to
Everyone needs a photographer. So like if there's someone that you like if there's a media personality or even if it's like a celebrity, and you notice their Instagram isn't as great as it could be, everyone needs a photographer. So you are in a really great space right now. Just network and get your photos out there. Put them on Tumblr. Put them everywhere where they can go viral.
I've been I email everyone and
It's keep doing it. It's not going to be. Let me tell you something. You're going to hear way more no's and quiet sounds than you're going to hear yes.
Yeah.
It's just going to be every single time that you send something out and someone says no or doesn't respond, you're one thing closer to that yes. So just keep going. Like don't let that discourage you.
Thank you.
And to add to that, keep emailing people and just reaching out and like trying to build your network, but also work on your craft because that's like really what's gonna get you noticed. And like your gear, like I mean, you don't need like the most expensive camera. Your iPhones, like I mean, these smartphones nowadays are like basically like super strong, powerful machines. The cameras are great. Just work on like composition and just really kind of like building up like your skills and your portfolio so that once you finally do get that look and you get hit up by like whoever you're trying to reach out to, they see that you're legit and you're for real about your passion. And let the work speak for
Thank you.
itself.
Thank you. Well, you want to say something?
nah.
You sure?
Yeah. You seem really
I was
active.
trying to say something.
All right, what's your name? What's your name? What year you're in? How many classes you failed last year? Bro, I had a 1.8 GPA when I was in Memorial. I just want y'all to know that.
My name is Christopher Marty.
Christopher Warden?
Marty.
Marty,
Like
okay.
Tuesday in Spanish.
Got it.
I'm
Miss Marty.
Yeah. I'm a senior and I didn't fail any classes last year.
Nice, give it up for Marty. Do you have any interest other than growing your hair?
Yeah, I play basketball and I like music a lot.
Okay, who's your favorite musician?
I don't really have a favorite. I like too many people.
Okay, which ones come to mind immediately?
Styles P, Jadakiss, Killer
Wow,
Priest,
okay.
Jizza, RZA.
You gotta talk to
Yeah, that's why I kept looking at him sometimes, like making eye contact.
So, all right, it's funny you say that, right? It's funny you say that. Are you a musician?
Nah, I just like music a lot.
So Q does Sirius. We do Goodfella Radio Show. We've been doing it for the last 7 years. I do it over at New Brunswick. It's something I've done for free just because I couldn't be late to any more classes for talking about rap in the hallways with my friends.
Word, I feel you.
Like every disciplinarian or teacher here who taught me would be like, Justin, you have to get out of the hallway. Talking about rap is not gonna do anything for you. The joke's on them. I work in the industry now, right?
Well, I ask my teachers, I'm in the hallway all the time.
No, I'm not saying it's cool to be in the hallways. I'm saying that you have to, well, I mean, it is kind of fly if you got a dope pair of sneakers on, but I'm just saying, I mean, listen, I don't go here, so we're good. What I am gonna say is that thing that distracts you from doing what your responsibilities are, not being a significant other, is probably your passion. And you need to look into that a little bit more. Having an idea, sitting here right now and being like, damn, I got a question for them, but I don't wanna ask, because low-key, I don't want everybody to make fun of me. You can't feel like that. You gotta go for it. And this generation is 100% more inclined to send a tweet or a text message or a DM than they are to speak aloud. That's why I wish we had like a prompter and we would have done a little hashtag thing, but we didn't do that. I'm gonna get all of y'all our emails and
Word.
so you guys can keep in touch with me. But yeah, it starts with that. It may not be basketball because the ratio is so crazy to get into the league.
I still do what I do, you feel me? Like, it doesn't matter. I still do that, yo.
But that's the thing, you gotta define the odds, you gotta test the boundaries, you gotta see how far you could go. You may wind up being a coach one day, or you may wind up playing D-League or ball overseas. You know, don't let anyone tell you what you can and cannot do.
And then if you like music, you like rap, you talking to people in the hallways, get those guys together. Get in the AV room, start a podcast. You know what I mean? You guys can jump on the mic, put yourselves on video together and talk about rap. Put it on Tiger TV. That's a start. That we started on Tiger TV. You know what I mean? And that's really what it started from. We love talking about it so much. We were like, yo, we're deep in this. Like, we're rap nerds. We're not talking about this on surface level. We're going down, breaking down bars and thought process for how these records come together. You want to talk to your friends about it? Why not use it and get some exposure for it? You're gonna have fun doing it. You're not gonna think twice about it. It ain't gonna be hard. You and your boys like talking about it. Put it on the camera. Put it on a microphone. Upload it to YouTube. Share it with everybody in the school. It's a drop in the ocean, but then a lot of ripples, man. So you can start right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say this straight up, a little religious slant on this, but everyone has a gift. God gives you a gift. It's up to you to share it with the world. So whatever it is, whether you can sing, whether you're good at communicating, whether you're a good painter, whether you're good at, you got steady hands and you could be a surgeon, you have a gift. It's a matter of tapping it early. I know we're giving you guys a lot of career advice, and that don't really mean anything to y'all right now because that's like 6 years out. But it starts with the kernel of an idea, and then it builds from there. And I know a lot of young people who are in a practice that they started in high school and they're getting money off of it and they never had to go to college. So that's also an option. Please, another question. I'm just gonna start pointing at people and asking for GPAs. Another one. We got right here. Did she raise your hand? Oh, you just fixed your hair?
Who raised your hand?
Oh, you got a question? Yeah!
Anytime I have the chance to talk in front of 200 people and be on Tiger TV, I'm going to take the opportunity. So he said that's where he started, and you started there, so I'm going to do it. It was to everybody. Was there ever a moment that you guys reflected back on yourself and said, wow, I made it. This is what I wanted. There's no going back. This is what I'm going to do. Was there ever like that aha moment? Well, I don't know if that's the right term.
Yeah, I'll pass it to everybody. Q and I, we interviewed J. Cole. This is when he dropped, what's the first tape, Danny? The warm-up?
The warm-up's where we interviewed J. Cole.
The warm-up. So we met J. Cole, dusty J. Cole, no haircut J. Cole. Not like cool, no haircut, like before the Grammys. And we were just into his music, and we interviewed him. And Q and I were talking before we interviewed him, and we're like, yo, we're really about to do this. Like, we're about to interview J. Cole. Like, I know all his raps. we sat there, and like Q sat down, and I'm setting up the camera, and I'm like shaking, like, damn, this is crazy. Like, we're about to do this, and he's looking at us, he's like, are y'all gonna interview me or what? And it's like, oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And that's the moment that we were like, damn, all the stuff that Mr. Polynice, we call him P, all the stuff that P taught us was like, dude, just figure out what you like and go out and do it. You're gonna hit a wall, and if it's not what you want to do, come back. But if not, keep going. And that moment was definitive because it was defined by someone that I spent all my time listening to on my earbuds, and then eventually I got to sit with them and talk to them. And then at the end of the conversation, like Q said, Cole's like, yo, y'all know what y'all talking about. I like this. Anytime you need an interview, just let me know. Granted, he's a god now, and he's getting Grammys, and he's growing his hair out to obnoxious levels, but I ran into him the other day, and he's like, yeah, Danny chopped it up with his manager, Ibrahim, and he remembers us. And not that that's money, but that's a validation that there are opportunities out there, and once you feel that, like, this is what I want to do, no one should be able to stop you. Maybe your parents are gonna knock it. If you like I am, you got a traditional first-generation Spanish family, they're gonna try to knock your hustle, they're gonna tell you to do something different. Fine, you have to listen to them, you have to live under their roof. But at the end of the day, that don't mean that when you open up your laptop or you're on your phone, you can't be pursuing your passion. So.
Aha moment. So I'll tell the story of how when I met Beyonce, because it's a really good story. I say Beyonce because I've been a fan since No came out. Any Destiny's Child fans in here? Are you guys too young? Yeah! Shout out to Destiny's Child. So, the night, so I had been auditioning two seasons ago. This is my second season as a in-arena co-host with the Washington Wizards. And I had been auditioning, like they made the most out of that audition process. So basically, during preseason, it was me and 5 other girls. My friend Rodney Rakai, who's actually from Jersey, he's a host and I'm his co-host for the Washington Wizards. And so he put on Twitter like, yo, we're looking for a co-host from DC. I grew up in the Verizon Center, which is the main arena in DC. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go like whatever. Grew up meaning that I've been a fan of the Washington Wizards since I was like 3, hometown girl. And so I tweeted my link to him, to my reel. Everything you guys do just like save, and you'll start your reel like literally, or your whatever you're producing, just save, so you can always have, when people say, you say I want to do something and people are like, yo, send me what you did, you'll just always have that. So always save everything you do. And so I sent it to the Washington Wizards. I was like, I'm not going to hear nothing back. And then a few weeks later, they called me like, hey, you're one of our 5 finalists who were selected to be the co-host for the Washington Wizards season. And I'm an NBA fan, so I'm like, it's lit, I'm out here, nobody needs anything. But they're like, actually, you and 5 girls have to come back to DC for every other home game to audition, and then the city of DC will vote you in. So I'm like, that's crazy, because I had a full-time job in New York, so I made up this lie about how I was going back to grad school, and I was starting this thing right away, and I had made it into this program, and I needed to go back to DC, because it was like an AU scholarship program. Now, if you're a smart boss, you would have looked that up, but my boss wasn't really that smart. So I just made it work. And so on the last day of auditioning, I had to get right back to New York to do the Power 105 red carpet. What's that big show they do? Powerhouse. And so it was a huge year. They had all these people. And I didn't know for the first time ever, like Jay-Z and Beyonce were there, and I wasn't prepared. Like I was tripping out. And I was like, I'm just chilling back here. I'm chilling because my friend works at Def Jam, so she was like, yo, come through, like we in the back chilling. So, you can't, when you go places, you can't really like look at people, like you can't look like you don't belong there. So I was like on my phone, like acting like, yeah, I don't mind that T.I. just walked in there with Tiny. I don't mind that J. Cole's right there. I don't mind that Bobby Shmurda, free Bobby, was right there. So I was like, just chilling. And so I'm on my phone, hey. And so I'm on my phone, and I look up, and I see all the Def Jam people going crazy. Danny was probably back there, going crazy, because Hov was walking down, and I'm like, yo, that's Hov. And like, they were going out all the time a few years ago, so people weren't excited, but I was. And then nobody was really paying attention to Beyonce. And I'm like, lies, this is my time to get to meet Beyonce. So I pull her to the side, and I'm just like, I love you. Like, you changed my life. Like, I'm not afraid to dream, because I've watched women like you tear down barriers. So continue to be an amazing woman. And she's just looking at me like, oh wow. And I'm just like, yeah, we here, it's cool. And so then she's like, she gives me a hug and says thank you and continues to the stage. And I'm so mad because for the first time ever, I could not get my phone out for anything. And Beyonce always takes selfies with people, so I was so mad. But either way, I got the call, walk out of the center. The next morning, I get the call like, you were chosen. The city of DC voted you in for the Washington Wizards. And I was like, okay, I'm on the right path. I'm making it. And so now we're here 2 seasons later, and I still haven't had another 8 seconds with Beyonce, but we gonna work on it.
So success is like a lifelong journey. It's like super relative, and I don't mean to like, you know, like get cosmic on you guys and just like get like all deep, but for me, like I know that I'm on the right path. It's not necessarily that I've reached like, you know, like a goal. I always set kind of like, you know, small goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, weekly goals for myself, but I never really sit down to like reflect on, you know, my accomplishments. To be completely honest with you, I feel like there's just still so much work to do. There's always like, you know, things that you can be better on. And again, success is super relative. Like there's like success at like, you know, being a good person. The success is at being, you know, a good son, a good daughter, a good student. Success is super relative to whatever matters to you and whatever really like, you know, like floats your boat and makes you wake up every morning to like go out and really like just be great. So for me, I mean, again, I'm still very young and I have dreams and like, I want the world. You know, the world is out there. It's literally out there, and it's just like for the taking. And I feel like I'm on the path, just like Gia was saying, on the path to like just like accomplishing great things and just going out there and getting it. And it's really just like passion, you know, passion and the right attitude. So to answer your original question, I mean, yeah, like I'm reflecting on my success now, and I realize that at a young age, like I've come a long way, and I've made the best out of like, you know, the opportunities that were presented to me.
So just like he just said right now, I feel like almost every single time I reflect on what's happened what's transpired in the past 3 to 4 years for me, it's always an aha moment. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's like coming where I'm from, which is here. It's like the odds are really pinned against us. And me and Justin talk about this all the time. Like I got friends that I grew up with, and no disrespect to them, but the odds didn't work in their favor. Or they didn't work hard enough because of things that they were brought up in and the place that we were brought up in. You know what I mean? So it's like, to me, every single time I reflect and see what I've done, or I'll sit down with Justin, just to put it out there, me and Justin are actually roommates. We share an apartment together, and we live in Brooklyn. So just to throw it out there, we always talk. We have a lot of lifelong discussions about different topics. But every time we talk, it always comes back to the same thing. Like, we come from a place where you're not expected to do much. And that right there, to me, is the fact that I'm making something happen, and I got a friend from where I'm from making something happen. That's an aha moment to me. I do amazing shit all day. Like I sit down and I've been in meetings with Kanye West. I do marketing for Kanye West. I've sat with Jeezy, people who I've been thinking of my entire life, and I've listened to their music, grew up with them, like I've seen them and all that. That's all great to me. But nothing's better than getting to say that, yeah, I come from somewhere where a lot of people don't do great things, and I'm able to do that. That's the aha moment, right there.
Just a simple analogy. Do any of you guys travel in New York, take trains, buses? All right, cool. Have you ever got on a bus or a train and realized you was going the wrong way, you were supposed to go downtown and you're going uptown? You'd be, damn, I want to curse. You curse so much that I can't use none of mine. You'd be a fool to stay in that train and continue going in the wrong direction because you know you're moving further from where your destination is at. So what you got to do is wait for that next stop, wait for them doors to open. We live in New York now, so it's a New York analogy, but it could be related to a bus or the light rail. You got to get out and get in the train that's going in the right direction. That's how simple life is. Whether you're trying to make the team and you realize your jump shot ain't there, but you ain't working on it. You got to get up, go to the gym at night, 20 degrees, and shoot. You know, you got to get out of the train that's moving in the wrong direction and go in the right direction. I know it sounds corny, but it's the most simplest way to think about it. You're trying to lose weight, you get up in the morning, you follow the same regimen you did before, and you continue to gain weight. You're in that train going in the wrong direction. Get out, go on. It starts with one step, and that's the easiest way to do it. So for everybody here, including my homie Q, who's one of my best friends. It's a matter of being like, damn, I don't like the place I live in. I don't like the rules my mom got for me. I hate this teacher. I don't like my significant other anymore. I don't like my friends. Whatever it may be, you got to remove yourself and start moving in a different direction. It's super simple. Do we have any other questions? Do we have time? Can I just call random people? Yeah, I like this. All right, because you guys are like all wearing the same thing, it's tough for me to call them out.
Wait, I got one.
You got one? Q got one. There it goes. Hold on. What's your name?
Jay Lopez.
Ooh. Jay Lopez said that with sass. What grade are you in?
I'm a junior.
You're a junior? How many classes you failed last year? One. What class was that?
Math.
I'm with you, girl. I'm with you. Do you have a question? Anything that we said resonated or you were interested
Well, my interests are photography and videos, so I want to get into
Photography and
that.
video?
Yeah.
What do you have anybody that you follow on Instagram or that you see their work and you like?
Yeah, some people.
Cool. Yeah, that's me. Tiger TV.
No, but I am in the video production class.
There you go. I mean, that was just going to be my question. If you're into photography and if you're into video, I mean, your first three courses are right here at you know, like Peoria High School. Really, like, you know, joining the club and being a part of the team and really getting like an in-depth look of what goes on behind the scenes and what it takes to actually, you know, be successful at that.
Yeah, my teacher's Mr. White, and like sometimes when we're not doing anything, we'll mess around in the back of the class and like act like we're Tiger TV, and I'll record them. So yeah, I have like some videos of it on my phone.
Nice.
What do you like to shoot? Like mainly like outdoors, nature. Yeah. Like I've worked with her sometimes. We take pictures together. I've used her camera. Like we're really into it.
So look up publications, stuff like that, where they're using nature. Those are type of things you might want to get interested in. Take some shots, compare them, you know, to what you're seeing the professionals do, and then once you think it's at a level that's solid enough, start sending your work out. Start sending it to those people. Start looking at the people that you like, the photographers you like, maybe you can become an understudy.
Right.
So once you have it, now you know what you want to shoot. That's perfect. Now let's start finding like-minded people that do the same thing and get yourself into a community. That's good.
Thank you for that.
All right, somebody grab their friend who you know wants to ask a question but is not asking one. Right here, we got one right here.
Oh, right here?
It's gonna be like I hate you so much for grabbing me. Your name, please?
Karina Gonzalez.
Hey,
Hi.
Karina. What grade are you in?
I'm a senior.
Are you a real senior or like you're a junior, senior? You're trying to
No, I'm an official senior.
I'm a sophomore, senior, but like the way my homeroom is set up.
My question is for, I think his name is Danny. Previously you said that you've met Frank Ocean or you've worked with him or something?
Worked on certain things.
Okay, I think we all know what we're gonna ask. Can you tell him to drop the album? We've been waiting for like a year already, and we really want to hear it.
We're all waiting.
When you get the chance, just please.
That's it. We're all waiting. Everyone is waiting.
Please. That was it. Thank you.
What are you into, though? So you got a street. Oh, you got one?
Go, drop your mixtape. Do it.
Okay.
He's about to drop his mixtape, all right? So you guys are ready for it.
So, like you guys said, you guys are all obsessed with hip-hop culture, and I'm overly obsessed with hip-hop culture. Like, Dreamville, my top favorite of all time. Eminem's my icon. Kendrick Lamar, best poet that's come out so far for the rap game. Is what? Yeah, we want to see him April 4th. I bought his concert tickets last week. So, yeah, like, and I also love how, like, because when it comes to rap stuff, I go back to who found them. Because I love how it is, like, how we find people and then they come out with people. Like, when Logic said that he was going to have the t-shirt like J. Cole did for Jay-Z, like rap for Jay-Z or Die Trying, but he didn't do it, and then sooner or later he met him, and not like a fan, more like an acquaintance. Like that's one of my dreams to do, and how do you say it? Like I would love to one day like produce music or make music, do all that all together, and like she said, like I don't like no one knowing that, but I write stuff, like I'm writing everything down.
No, this is legitimately, give it up for him for a minute. Q is also a musician, and Q has been putting out material since I've known him and sharing it with the world. It's a conversation that we always have, where he'll be like, yo, I don't know if anybody's ready for what I'm gonna give them. I don't know if my work is there yet. It's cool to be obsessive, but like I said before, like God gives you talent or science gives you talent. You gotta take that talent and share it with the world. There's no, closed mouth don't get fed. If you don't say anything, ain't nobody gonna hear you. So if Logic and Cole and Kendrick are your heroes and people that you aspire to be like, go back to their early interviews, find out what they did, because it's the same thing, same formula. It's people getting up and doing the wildest thing you could think of in order to get that opportunity, because when you're in an area or community that doesn't have a lot of resources, the odds are stacked against you, as my good friend Danny said. And you gotta make sure you share your talent with the world. With that said, do you have a SoundCloud, and what is your musician name, in case anybody wants to listen to it?
No, I have nothing of that. I'm currently just sophisticating writing and learning how to make the stories and all that.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Get your music. Get your craft as good as you possibly can. Everybody's rapping. There's a lot of bad rappers that have become the kings. You know, your path isn't going to be J. Cole's path. It's not going to be mine.
No, of course not.
Your path's going to be your path. However you get there, it's going to be your way. You know what I mean? So you can look at your heroes, you can look at their work ethic, but as far as your strategy goes and how you're going to get there, it's going to be your own. So keep doing what you're doing, keep working on it, then you make the SoundCloud, then you start sharing with the music. And honestly, at that first time you share music, it might not be there yet.
Well, yeah.
Actually, I will guarantee you it's not going to be there yet, but that's fine. You got to start to build the foundation. The fans are already around you. Start in your own community. And New York City, which is the greatest resource you're ever going to have in your life.
Right across the river.
Right across on a quick bus ride. Start hitting up the open mics. Start jumping into ciphers. Fall flat on your face. Have people cheer you. Have people boo you. But you're going to have to keep going. And you're going to fall a lot. What you're trying to do is very difficult. You're going to fall a lot. You're going to get a lot of no's. And you're going to have to see how tough you really are and how much you really want. I'm going to be very realistic with you. You're going to get way more no's than you're going to get yes. But you got to be willing not to take those no's and push you until you get that yes. Keep working on your craft. Treat that thing like it's your love of your life. And do it every single day. Like I said, if you don't feel like writing a song, write an idea. Write a bar. But you got to keep doing it every single day. It's got to be on your mind day and night, or it won't happen. This is a thing that you got to dedicate yourself to 100% right here first.
Yeah.
Everything else will come. But it's going to take time. You got to be patient, and you got to keep your passion.
Yeah, and also, I follow Complex on Instagram and all that. Y'all, I've been a fan of y'all for a long time.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. But I don't work there no more. They don't pay my bills. We gotta wrap up. I low-key see like the coolest people in the world in this crowd, and I wanted to pick you out to see how cool you was, but I'm not gonna have time to do that. So, but what I will say is that everyone who was up here, we will be sharing our contact information with you guys. It's up to y'all to take that first step, and it could be something as simple as like, hey, this is my resume, does it look good? Hey, here are my photos, what do you think? Hey, yo, I finally uploaded that SoundCloud. Let me know if you got any feedback from me. Nobody's gonna put you on in the matter of a second. It just doesn't work like that. So make sure you use your resources that are in front of you. And if anything we said didn't relate to you, take the corny stuff that we said, like getting in a train and going in the wrong way, because that's applicable for everything. But in terms of our career and what we do as that hobbies turn professions, you know, that to me that's the coolest thing in the world. And you can, it's very much possible, not to sound corny. But we're gonna be here for a while, so if y'all wanna come up to us and talk to us, exchange contact immediately, that's cool. This will be archived. I don't know when Tiger TV is gonna put it out, but you got any homies that was like, yo, I went over there, I thought I was gonna skip 3 classes, but it was actually kind of interesting, you should watch it. Or I think, oh boy, was kind of cute, like you should watch this video. Not me, I'm talking about the other people. But it's gonna be archived so you can share it. And you 3 guys, that's my niece and that's my stepsister. I'm gonna need y'all to sit back a little bit. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it.